We haven't seen him since he joined us at the 10th anniversary show that we did before the holidays. He's a urologist with the Cleveland Clinic. And if you are new to the show, he joins us a few times a year and gives of his time and his talent and helps you dudes with stuff that you got going on down there that's weird. If you have a question for him, you can call it in, 216-578-1007, 800-348-1007. You can send me a text, 35192. You can email me as well. Of course, the Bill Squire Friday Get Down will not be forgotten either. That is on the way shortly. That's how else would we know that the weekend had officially begun?
It's the only way to know.
Only way to know. Brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey. Here's a text for Dr. Berglund. Do opiates affect pregnancy for a guy trying to get his wife pregnant?
That's a good question. Not that I'm aware of, but I mean, it can affect erectile function, libido.
Yep.
I mean, it can affect those kinds of things.
But not the process of impregnating someone.
I don't believe so. It may have an effect on sperm counts, but I'm not aware.
Okay. Hey, Scotty. Hello, Scotty. Scotty. Hey, Mike.
Yes.
What do you got, Mike?
Well, I got a few things. Keep it simple. 2008, I had hernia surgery, and I woke up the next morning, and the junk was all swollen, enlarged, purple. Called the doctor back up. I'm like, "Is this normal?" And they said, "Yeah, it's kind of normal." So I had my right testicle has been painful, not horrible. 1.5, 2 out of 10 for years since that. I'm just curious, would anything that hernia surgery, would it be related to this potentially, or could it be something else? I had this conversation with a lot of patients because I operate on a lot of people, and one of the main risks or complications of surgery is pain. And it can be acute pain, but it can also be chronic pain. Anytime you make a cut on the body, it can affect a nerve. So surgery certainly can cause pain. The question is, what do we do about this? If it's not causing you a lot of bother, I wouldn't do much about it. I mean, if you need to take Advil, leave every now and then, I wouldn't do anything about it. If you're on pain medication all the time, you might want to consider potentially getting a nerve block. So, if it's a 1 or 2 out of 10, I probably wouldn't do anything about it. Right. It's certainly tolerable. Now, I can tell you, without having sex for a number of the 3-5 days, it seems to escalate to maybe a 3. So I don't know if it's extra pressure or what's going on with that, but so of course I have to have sex every 3 days. Like my
right.
girlfriend.
I mean, it's a good question, and the other thing is that sometimes we can get pain syndromes that are that happen, but we also have had a surgery, and the two may not be related. It's hard to know. I wouldn't be surprised though if you got a little bit of chronic pain after having surgery, which commonly happens. Okay, is it a mistake by chance by the surgeon? No, I mean that just happened. Every patient I counsel about surgery, pain is one of the risks I list with surgery. So pain is a risk with surgery. That's why you only get surgery if you need it. It sounded like you did. You had a hernia? I did, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, good luck, Mike. There's Mike.
He's like, did they do something wrong? I'm working on a lawsuit. Can I get money out of this?
Well, it really is an important point, though. This is advice to anybody listening. Get surgery if you need it. If you don't need it, don't get it, please. Yeah.
Here's a letter. Alan, please ask Dr. Berglund about taking Viagra while drinking and on cocaine.
Whoa!
Lots of people online say it's fine, while others say you'll die. I would like his input.
I feel like your heart would explode.
Leave it to the doctor to answer.
Yeah.
I think it's a simple answer. Don't do cocaine.
There you go. I like how he's approaching a medical...
If you have to do cocaine.
They're going to do cocaine. They want to take some Viagra. What are the effects there?
Cocaine is incredibly dangerous. I mean... of all the drugs that we worry about patients taking before surgery, cocaine is number one. That is the one drug that if you take it, around the time of having a procedure done, it'll kill you. And
so no coke before you go into the knife.
No cokes before pokes.
The PD5 inhibitors can lower your blood pressure, and cocaine is notorious for affecting your blood pressure as well. The two are not going to go well together. I would not recommend that.
Okay, let me
you
go to. There you go. Would not recommend
Stop doing
cocaine, drinking, and Viagra. Hey, Christina.
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
So, like a year and a half ago, my husband had a penile fracture, and ever since then, he can't get completely erected, and he takes 100 milligrams of Viagra before we have intercourse. And the only time he does get completely erected is when he's about to, I guess, climax.
Right.
His penis also bends where he's had the surgery at. So when he's erected, it literally bends like your finger.
Right. That's very common.
Okay. My other question is where they cut him at because of surgery. I was reading in that, and it shows that you actually should have went around the head of the penis. Is that correct, or?
I don't know the specifics, but what we typically do, I had one just a couple months ago. You have to deglove the penis. So you make the most common thing you do is you'd make a circumferential incision around the glands, just below the glands in the skin. You completely deglove the penis and then repair the area. But I don't know the specifics of what was going on then. The problem is, and why a penile fracture is such a big problem, is it very commonly leads to erectile dysfunction and very commonly leads to Peyronie's disease, which is what he has. He might actually want to consider getting a penile prosthesis if he's really having a lot of problems. That's a kind of an elegant solution to that problem.
Okay.
Christina, are you responsible for the initial fracture?
No, I you know what? He has bad aim. That's not my fault.
Ouch!
Hitting a leg.
Oh man, his loss and your loss. Oh my.
Yeah, I went one way, he went the other way.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, his was much worse than my pain.
Right.
One of the things you could do, though, a prosthesis, in addition to giving him erections, could potentially help with straightening.
Okay, the doctor also suggested about getting him circumcised, but unfortunately, I don't want to lose inches.
Right.
It's not all about you.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't have much to spare. I got to hang on to
queen
it.
here.
Circumcision will not shorten the penis.
I was going to say, you're not going to gain or lose.
Circumcision does not shorten the penis.
Just
The
skin.
tip that they cut off is not the head.
It sure looks like it, but okay.
It will not shorten the penis. It'll remove some redundant skin, but it won't shorten the penis.
And would that help correct the problem,
It will not help correct the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, Christina. 216-578-1007 if you have a question for Dr. Ryan Berglund, or 800-348-1007.
Old knuckle dong.
Oh, come on.
Come on. In that same vein, if you will, has Dr. Berglund heard of Foreskin restoration? What are his thoughts on it? I'll tell you what, I bought a credenza there one time, and their customer service was fantastic. Regrowing your foreskin by stretching it out. We've talked briefly about this.
I've heard about this. I really don't have much of an opinion about it. I mean, I guess if it's important to someone, it's something you can pursue. I would.
Medically, is it not recommended, but
not
I mean,
really recommended.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a good question. Don't do procedures if you don't need them, but if it's something that's incredibly important to you, I
like
guess.
for people who didn't want to be circumcised.
Right.
Or whatever,
I understand the argument.
Yeah.
The argument is it's done to you when you're a newborn, and you don't really have a role in deciding whether or not you have it done.
Right. Alan, a year and a half ago, I had a rash occur after sex. I was prescribed steroid creams. I was diagnosed with prostatitis.
Yep.
Ejaculation's uncomfortable. I'm still negative for STDs. What's causing all the itch during ejaculation? Is this an STD I haven't been tested for, or is it psychosomatic, or is it because of the steroid cream? There's a lot there. There's a lot going on
I
there.
doubt it's related to steroid cream. There could be an untested STD. I mean, the usual suspects: gonorrhea, chlamydia, mycoplasma, ureaplasm.
Are those two the most common? Gonorrhea and chlamydia? Or they just cause the most problems?
And they tend to coexist. So people who have...
You get both.
Well, so if you have gonorrhea, there's a high likelihood of having chlamydia at the same time. So if you diagnose somebody with that, you treat for both. Gonorrhea used to be a terrible problem, and it is starting to come back. There's a lot of resistance out there. Gonorrhea.
The super gonorrheas.
Yeah,
Super gonorrhea.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Alaska.
Yeah. Gonorrhea is a major problem, and to have that come back, a resistant form of that come back, is going to be a big problem.
I've had a blood test recently and have low testosterone. My doctor wants me to start taking testosterone, but I'm worried it might have a negative reaction with my antidepressants. Any known negative side effects from testosterone and antidepressants at the same time?
Certainly fluctuations in testosterone levels can affect mood, and so can antidepressants. So, this is the kind of thing where if you're going to get your testosterone level changed somehow, you need to do it under medical supervision, which could include changing the antidepressant medication that you're on. The main thing is you want to get, if you're having your testosterone treated, don't over-treat it. You want to get it into the normal range.
Right.
So some people will start being treated and get super therapeutic where the testosterone's in the thousands. That's not good. That's not healthy.
Alan, in the ED line of questioning, does Dr. Berglund know anything about PT-141 that I've been reading about lately to treat sexual dysfunction?
That's a new one. I'll have to look it up. PT-141.
Sounds like a boat signature or something.
Game cheat code.
Yeah, right. Does the doctor know any way to not be a two-pump chump?
Get out of your own head, buddy.
Yeah, that's we've talked about it before. Premature ejaculation. First of all, there are creams available that have lidocaine in them that are available on the internet over the counter. There's some antidepressants that help with that. So there are ways you can treat PE.
Uglier girls.
Also that.
A guy wants to know if you can become immune to erectile dysfunction medication.
I wouldn't use the word immune, but certainly your ED can get worse over time.
More resistant to it?
Tolerance?
Or the progression of the disease, ED tends to start out less severe and gets worse over time, and some may stop being responsive to medication. I don't know if you necessarily would call it immune, just that the disease progresses.
Mm-hmm. Alan, my spouse went to a urologist for blood in his urine and elevated PSA. The urologist dismisses his concerns as not kidney stones or prostate. Should he get a second opinion?
So blood in the urine is a concern for bladder cancer. Roughly 5% of patients with microscopic blood in the urine, about 20% with visible blood in the urine will have bladder cancer. So I would recommend a workup for that.
Always get a second opinion then, probably.
If you're peeing blood, I mean...
Unless Dr. Berglund is your second opinion, and then you don't need a third.
There are reasons there are plenty of benign reasons that you can urinate blood. You got to rule out the bad ones. You got to rule out cancer.
I have lumbar herniations that affect my right testicle. When my back acts up, it wants to recede and not drop. Is this normal? The affected testy.
You can have neurologic effects to the testicle.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a urologic problem. It's a neurologic problem, and so perhaps they need to get their back.
Is that why a scrotum looks like a brain?
It's all making sense.
It's all making sense now, isn't it? Well, we were talking about ED, and now here's a guy named Ed.
Hey.
Hey, Ed. What's up, Ed?
I have a question about I keep producing stones, and in 14 months, I had actually 16 months. I have a 16 millimeter stone at 14, a 10, and a 5. Shortly, I'm going for another surgery. I've been through a lot of surgeries. They said lime juice per day, 4 ounce. But I was doing lime juice, and I went to vitamin C pills, and the vitamin C pills made them grow quicker. So I'm kind of frustrated, and I've been through multiple surgeries.
Well, if dietary modification and medication don't help, I'm sure you drink a lot of water. In addition,
yes, I do.
Yeah,
and I'm dehydrated all the time.
Yeah. Believe it or not, there's some more aggressive surgeries that can be done. You really only want to do it as a last resort, but there is a way to allow the stone. If you can't stop producing stones, to allow the stones to drop directly into the bladder, so where you actually do a kidney transplant and place the renal, sew the kidney itself into the bladder, so that you don't obstruct. That is an extreme measure used in patients that just cannot stop forming stones.
Well, the route I'm going, this is going to be the 43rd surgery on my kidneys.
Oh
Jesus.
my gosh.
So
And,
that's exactly the type of patient that gets that procedure.
And I had they're going through my back the second time to get the stones out.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a pretty severe situation.
Do they sell, or do you know of any kind of lime juice pill or something like that that would give me more acid that I need to slow down the stones?
Yeah, that's. Without knowing the specifics, it sounds like you're already being medically managed. I mean, you could certainly get a second opinion, but if you're being optimally medically managed and this is continuing, then the kind of last step is to transplant the kidneys into the pelvis to have the stones drop directly into the bladder.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, Ed.
Thanks. Bye.
Well,
All right, there you
that's
go.
a tough problem.
Woof.
Drink more margaritas.
Hey, Lou.
Hey.
What's up, Lou?
Hey, Dr. Berglund, how you doing? Hey,
Hi.
Alan.
Hey.
Hey, so I guess for quite a while now, a number of years, but it's been getting worse lately. Go to do my business number 2, and I get seepage. 15 minutes after I use the restroom, I've got to keep wiping, and then next thing you know, it's just blood. Is that bad?
From the beehole, or you're not getting the... Okay.
Yeah, beehole.
Yeah, that's not good.
Blood's not good from back there, right?
Blood's not good. I mean, you could have hemorrhoids or some, common cause, but blood in the stool needs to be evaluated. That could be a sign.
Well, it's not necessarily in the stool, but it's constant leakage. Like, I mean, I'll have to, for hours after I take a crap, keep wiping.
Yeah, but you said there was blood, right?
Well, yeah, I mean...
I think sounds like the blood, and this is just my guess, from being a guy that's had to wipe a lot, the blood might just you might just have a raw beehole from the blood, or from all the wiping.
Maybe up your thread count in your toilet paper.
Maybe more fiber in your diet.
Does I don't know if this is true or not, but the color of the blood makes a difference? If it's a lighter
bright
pink,
red versus
versus
dark and
a
tarry.
dark.
Yeah, it does. But the fact is, blood of any, whether it's dark and tarry or bright red, you need to understand why you have blood.
Ascertain what's going on.
Was there something wrong with the seal? Like, why am I leaking so much?
People can have a weak anal sphincter, so that's a possibility.
Oh, weak sphincters.
Yeah.
Plain as day.
And that's something that can be tested for. Yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
Get a bidet.
Yeah, get a bidet.
What do you do about that?
That there are colorectal surgeons who can treat that specific problem. But the first thing I would look into is I'd make sure I know why I'm bleeding in the stool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, Lou. Dr. Ryan Berglund, you have done it again. The Is It Red segment lands on a call. Yes, it is red. Go get it checked out over at the Cleveland Clinic. What's the number over there at the Cleveland Clinic?
1-800-CCF-CARE.
CCF-CARE. And, of course, all the cool people on Twitter follow him at Ryan_Berglund as well.
Is it red? Does it itch? Does it hurt like a bitch? Is it red? Is it red? Is it red?
All right, Bill, are you ready for the Friday get down to let everyone know that the weekend is officially begun?
Let's do it.
All right.
Everybody, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Brother Leslie, how?
All right, the Bill Squire Friday Get Down is brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey. Join them on Leap Day. Their beer barrel finished limited release bourbon is going to be ready. Are you ready, Bill?
Let's do it.
It's Friday. It's been a long week, and if it's red, then you should go back to bed. But if it's brown, drink it down. Get that beer barrel whiskey in your gullet. Galugga, galugga, galugga. It's Friday.
What? What'd you say if it's red.
Go back to bed.
Go back to bed. It's red, go back to bed. The Leap Day party at Cleveland Whiskey tomorrow at the distillery there, 3 to 6. It's free, 21 and over. Worth checking out. The limited release Miracle, that's Mira, C-L-E, beer barrel finished. ClevelandWhiskey.com for all the information. If it's red, go back to bed.
If it's brown, it's probably whiskey. Drink it down.
Drink it down, right. All right, let me take a break. And
don't mix it with cocaine and Viagra.
Viagra, cocaine, that's all bad.